This old outdoor fireplace grill was found in rural Tennessee at a house built in the 1920s. It has a chimney and a canal-like firebox. The finder has been using it to grill. They also found a weird wire mechanism in the ashes. What was its original purpose? The finder's intuition is good, but the scale is off. This structure is a whole hog BBQ pit. This style of open pit, often made of brick or cinder block, is traditional for slow cooking a whole pig over coals for many hours, a classic style of southern barbecue. The metal grate would support the hog over the hot coals in the long canal. The chimney helps to create a good draft for the fire. The odd wire mechanism found in the ashes is likely unrelated and just part of some other trash that was disposed of in the pit over the years. This wooden side table found in a sailor's home has 3 containers. It's approximately 1 meter tall. What is its specific purpose? The commenter is going to guess that this is a smoking table or a smoker's stand. This was a common piece of furniture from the mid-20th century. The 3 containers would have had specific purposes for a smoker. The largest one would be an ashtray, often with a removable liner for easy cleaning. Another container would be a tobacco humidor or a holder for a tin of pipe tobacco. The third, smaller container might have been for holding matches, a pipe tamper, or other smoker's accessories. It was a dedicated piece of furniture for the ritual of smoking. Found by a 7-year-old on his school playground, this is heavy like a tool and has threaded holes all over it. A piece unscrews and has an E on it. What is this? This is an air connection for a paintball marker, also known as an ASA, air source adapter. Specifically, it looks like an ASA made by the brand Evil. This is the part on the grip of a paintball marker where you screw in the high-pressure air tank. The threaded holes are for mounting it to the marker, and the main large hole is where the tank connects. The small piece with the E is likely the knob or on-off pin for controlling the flow of air from the tank into the marker. What is this fenced-off area which contains a blue barrel? Without being able to read the label on the barrel, a definitive identification is impossible. However, a fenced-off area containing a lone barrel can signify several things. It could be a collection point for a specific type of waste, hazardous, chemical, or otherwise, that needs to be kept separate and secure. It could also be a temporary storage site for materials used in nearby construction or environmental monitoring, with the fence providing security. As the commenter cheekily notes, if a picture were taken of the label, the mystery would likely solve itself. This is a very heavy cast iron object, weighing 50+ pounds. It's about 12 to 14 inches long, with a small stud sticking out the small end. It looks like a broken broomstick is in a hole in the top of the large end. What is it? This is an antique cast iron balance beam weight. A balance beam scale is a type of scale with a central pivot and 2 pans. To weigh an object, you place it on one pan and add known weights to the other pan until they balance. However, for weighing very heavy items, a sliding weight system is used on a long beam. This heavy cast iron weight, with its specific shape, would be the main counterweight, or poise, that slides along the graduated beam of a large platform scale, like those used at a grain elevator, a freight depot, or a cotton gin to weigh wagons or large quantities of goods. This small plastic object with a head that moves in a rail came from a sewing kit. What is this helpful sewing notion? This looks like a type of automatic or semi-automatic needle threader. Threading a sewing machine needle can be a fiddly task, especially for those with less than perfect eyesight. This gadget is designed to make it easier. The user would place it over the needle, and the mechanism, with its head that moves in a rail, would guide a tiny hook through the eye of the needle. The user would then lay the thread across the hook, and when the device is removed, it pulls a loop of thread back through the needle's eye, threading it instantly. This small black plastic thing is permanently affixed to the front edge of a new entertainment stand. The finder can't even come close to figuring out what it's for. This is a stopper to prevent TVs from sliding off the stand. This is a safety feature that only works with older TVs or certain modern ones that have a flat pedestal base instead of the widely spaced legs that are common now. The TV's flat base would be pushed up against this stopper. This prevents the TV from being accidentally pushed or sliding forward and falling off the front of the entertainment stand, which is especially important in households with children or pets. Purchased at an auction, this old wooden conical-shaped tool is 22 inches long with a 3.5-inch diameter metal base. There are small bits of rope wedged between the wood and the base. The finder thought it might be a rope rigging fid, but the base is unusual for that. What is it? This is an antique grommet horn. It is a tool used by sailmakers or canvas workers to install metal grommets into the edge of a sail or a piece of heavy canvas. The sharp end of the wooden cone would first be used, often with a mallet, to punch a hole in the fabric. Then, the grommet would be placed in the hole, and the tool, with its shaped metal base, would be used as an anvil or form, along with another setting tool, to hammer the two halves of the metal grommet together, securing it permanently to the fabric. It is a classic tool from the age of sail and canvas work. These are two metal clamps found in a random toolbox collection. The main box is about 1.5 inches by 0.75 inches. One side has fangs for gripping. Nuts can be tightened. What are they? This looks to be a cat paw cleat for an Arctic cat snowmobile from the 1980s. These cleats, or studs, are bolted through the rubber track of the snowmobile. The fangs, or sharp points, grip into ice and hard-packed snow, providing significantly improved traction and control, especially for acceleration, braking, and cornering. They are an essential performance and safety accessory for snowmobiling in icy conditions. These would be spare parts kept in a toolbox. Found in New Zealand, this appears to be made of bakelite and is broken at the end of the stem part. The back reads, Sting Indestructible Philadelphia. It's about the size of a child's headphones broken in half and has the number 34 debossed on the stem. It was found where people dumped stuff 100 plus years ago. What is it? After some clever sleuthing, this has been linked to the Hastings Rubber Truss Co. out of Philadelphia. This object is part of a medical truss. A truss is a type of supportive device worn to manage a hernia by applying pressure to the affected area. This bakelite piece, likely with a soft pad that has since rotted away, would have been the pressure pad of the truss, held in place by a system of straps. It is a piece of antique medical equipment from the late 19th or early 20th century. This metal object, measuring 2 inches by 1 to 4 inch, was found on the wreck of the Forest Queen off the coast of Scituate, Massachusetts. It has some markings on it. Its shape suggests it's a tool, but what specific maritime task would it have been used for on a 19th century sailing vessel? This sorta looks like a small caulking iron, though the shape is a bit odd and it might be broken. A caulking iron is a fundamental tool in traditional wooden shipbuilding. It's a type of chisel-like tool that was used to pack caulking material such as oakum, tarred fibers, into the seams between the wooden planks of a ship's hull. This process was essential for making the hull watertight. The caulking material would be driven into the seams using this iron and a special mallet. It is a true artifact from the age of wooden sailing ships. Found in a dad's toolbox, this tool is made by Castar in the USA and consists of metal pieces with various measurements on them. It seems designed for measuring very small gaps or clearances. What is this precision tool, and what is it used for? This tool is a feeler gauge. It consists of a series of small lengths of steel of different, precisely calibrated thicknesses. The measurements are marked on each individual blade. A feeler gauge is used by mechanics and machinists to measure gap widths. Common uses include measuring the clearance between a spark plug's electrodes, checking the valve clearances in an engine, or measuring the fit between two machine parts. The user would insert the blades of the gauge into the gap until one fits snugly, which then indicates the size of the gap. The shower head in a bathroom fell off, and this black stick thing was with it. It snapped in the finder's hand, revealing it was hollow with a filament-like material inside. The shower works without it. What was it? This was probably a piece of charcoal to purify the water. This is a simple, often gimmicky type of inline water filter. The black rod is a stick of activated carbon. The theory is that as water flows past it, the carbon will absorb chlorine and other impurities, supposedly improving the water quality. The commenter correctly notes that this passive method doesn't really work effectively, as proper filtration requires water to be forced through the carbon media. The shower will work perfectly well without this non-essential and largely ineffective filter stick. Found deep in the woods of western Massachusetts, this is a heavy cast iron gear of some sort. It has a very unusual spiral, non-circular shape. Standard gear searches didn't show anything similar. What is this? Pretty cool find. This is called a Nautilus gear. Unlike standard round gears that provide a constant speed and torque ratio, non-circular gears like this Nautilus gear are designed to produce a continuously varying speed or torque output from a constant speed input. They are used in specialized machinery where a specific non-uniform motion is required, such as in some types of printing presses, textile machines, or automated manufacturing equipment. Its distinctive spiral shape is based on the logarithmic spiral of the Nautilus shell. Finding a heavy cast iron one in the woods is a mystery, likely a remnant of some old abandoned mill or factory machinery. Seen at the end of a driveway in Oregon, this object is about 15 feet tall. The lower portion has a glass panel that faces the driveway. The structure itself looks empty inside. Is it a watchtower, a birdhouse, or a deer feeder? The best guess for this tall structure is a driveway periscope. This is a clever solution for a homeowner whose driveway has a dangerously obstructed view of the main road. If a wall, a hedge, or a small hill blocks the driver's view of oncoming traffic as they are exiting their driveway, they can install a system of mirrors in a tall enclosure like this one. The top mirror would be positioned high up to see over the obstruction, and it would reflect the view of the road down to the lower mirror, the glass panel, which the driver can see from their car. This allows them to check for traffic safely before pulling out. This is a small, metal, right-angle item, light in the hand and not magnetic. It has a rounded hex profile on the protrusion that is threaded into the bar. It was found in a kid's trunk after scout camp. What could it be? This could be the bolt or the strike plate pin from a door lock, specifically a deadbolt or a similar type of lock. The right angle shape and the threaded protrusion are common features of lock hardware. It might be a component from a lock on a footlocker or a trunk used for scout camp, or a piece of hardware from a cabin or building at the camp that came loose and was picked up by the scout as an interesting object. Its non-magnetic nature suggests it's made of brass, aluminum, or stainless steel. Found on an old farm in Sweden, this metal object is most likely over 100 years old. It's fairly heavy and seems to have been used to lock something. The key part can rotate but can't be extracted. What could it be? This is a well sweep bucket safety hook. A well sweep is a long, pivoted pole with a bucket on one end and a counterweight on the other, used to lift water from a shallow well. This special hook would be used to attach the bucket to the pole. The rotating key part is a safety mechanism. Once the bucket handle was on the hook, turning this part would lock it in place, preventing the heavy bucket full of water from accidentally detaching from the pole and falling back into the well. This is a heavy metal object with no markings. A hole in the front is where a carbide button used to be, which has been knocked out. What is this industrial tool? This is a pick or a tooth from a mining or heavy construction machine. It's used to cut through coal or soft rock. These picks are mounted on the rotating drum of a continuous mining machine, a road planer, or a trencher. The main body is made of tough steel, and the very tip, which is now missing, would have had an extremely hard tungsten carbide button that did the actual cutting. This one has been worn out, with the carbide tip knocked off, which is probably why it was replaced and discarded. This consists of a springy wire and a metal tube with a clamping screw. The thumb screw loosens and tightens to clamp the bent tube over the long, springy wire. It's a long loop. This is a drain snake, also known as a drain auger. It is used to clear clogs in plumbing drains. The long, springy wire is the snake that is fed into the drain pipe. The metal tube with the clamping screw is the handle. You would feed the snake into the drain until you feel the clog. Then, you tighten the thumb screw to clamp the handle to the snake. By turning this handle, you can rotate the snake, allowing its corkscrew-like tip to break up or hook onto the obstruction so it can be cleared. This long metal structure was seen in the front yard of a large home built in the 1930s. It has a metal pole about 15 feet long that is bent downward, though it may have originally been straight. The base holding it up is hollow. The finder's best guess is some kind of flagpole. Is this correct? The finder's guess is correct. This is a bent flagpole, specifically a tilting or pivoting flagpole. The base would be set permanently in the ground. The pole itself would be designed to pivot within this base, allowing the entire pole to be lowered to a horizontal position. This makes it much easier and safer to attach or remove the flag, or to perform maintenance on the pole without needing a ladder. Unfortunately, this one has been badly bent, likely due to a storm or an impact, preventing it from being returned to its upright position. This table was found while emptying an old barn. It has grips that close when a pedal is pushed. The grips have a small divot on them and adjustable screws. The barn also had a lot of horse equipment. What is this specific clamping table for? This is a machine for making natural material wreaths. A metal wreath form, or ring, would be placed on the table. The user would then lay fresh greenery branches, like pine or fir, over the form. By stepping on the foot pedal, the powerful grips or clamps close, bending a small metal tab from the wreath form over the branches and crimping it tightly, securing the greenery to the frame. This process is repeated all the way around the ring. The linked video shows one in action. It's a specialized tool for florists and crafters. These small, silver-colored rectangular objects were found in a box of random buttons passed down through generations. They are about an inch long, not stamped, and possibly made of zinc. What are they? These small, heavy rectangular pieces are drapery weights, also known as curtain weights. They are small, flat weights, traditionally made of lead or a lead zinc alloy, that are sewn into the bottom hem of curtains or drapes. Their purpose is to add weight to the fabric, which helps the curtains to hang straight and evenly, prevents them from being easily billowed by a breeze, and gives them a more professional, tailored look. Finding them in a grandmother's sewing box full of buttons is a very logical place for these essential drapery-making supplies. In the backyard of a sister's new house in eastern PA, this is a 6-foot metal pole with 3 hooks on top. Is it for laundry or lighting? It's the anchor post for a retracting clothesline. The main clothesline unit, which contains 1 or more spring-loaded lines, would be mounted on the house or another post. The user would then pull the lines out across the yard and hook them onto this anchor post. The 3 hooks on top would allow for multiple lines to be strung at once or offer different height options. The commenter bets that traces of the other end, the main housing unit, can be found on the vinyl siding of the house in the background. This white ceramic clown has a removable lid and is apparently not usable for tea lights. What is this piece of kitchen pottery? It's for storing onions or garlic. This is a type of ceramic storage crock, often with a novelty shape like this clown. It would typically have small ventilation holes, perhaps in the back, not visible in the picture, to allow air to circulate. Storing onions and garlic in a cool, dark, and well-ventilated container like this helps to keep them fresh and prevents them from sprouting prematurely. The removable lid is for adding and removing the produce. It is a functional piece of kitchen storage with a whimsical design. This ceramic bowl has a hole in the bottom. Its lid has cutouts, and the accompanying saucer has a spout. It holds about a quart. What is this for? This looks like a set for brewing loose leaf tea, specifically a type of infuser bowl that sits over a cup or pot. You would place the bowl, the main part with the hole, over your teapot. The lid, with its cutouts, might be for allowing steam to escape or for adding water. After the tea has steeped, you would lift the infuser bowl, and the brewed tea, having passed through the strainer hole, would be in the teapot below. The saucer with the spout is a drip catcher. You would place the wet infuser bowl on it, and the spout would allow you to neatly pour any remaining liquid away. This is a small plastic item with a strap about 3 inches long. The rubber strap fastens to a button. It was found in the house. What can it be? This is the cover from a collapsible fishing rod, often a telescoping rod. When a telescoping rod is collapsed, all the sections slide down into the handle, but the line guides are on the outside. This small plastic cover or cap is designed to fit over the tip of the collapsed rod. The strap is then used to secure all the line guides together into the rod itself, preventing them from getting tangled or damaged during transport or storage. Found outside on the ground near a worksite, this is a clear cylinder with a yellow ring inside and a reddish brown substance. What is this common piece of litter? This is a type of disposable plastic cigarette filter. Similar to the Tar Stopper brand, these are small plastic mouthpieces that a smoker would put on the end of a cigarette. The yellow ring is part of the internal filtering mechanism. The reddish or brown substance is the accumulated tar and other chemicals that the filter has trapped from the cigarette smoke. The clear cylinder is designed to allow the smoker to see this buildup, supposedly reinforcing the effectiveness of the filter. It is a piece of discarded smoking paraphernalia. Darshan 1219, Yeast Ring. Found in a pile of crochet hooks and knitting needles, this is a wooden ring approximately 15 centimeters in diameter. It appears to be constructed from many small joined wooden pieces, giving it a unique segmented look. Its presence among textile craft tools is puzzling, as it doesn't seem to fit the typical profile of a knitting or crochet accessory. What could this unusual wooden ring be used for? This is likely a yeast ring, a traditional Scandinavian kitchen tool. Also known as a jastring in Swedish, it was used for preserving sourdough starter or yeast. The baker would dip the wooden ring into their active yeast starter. The starter would adhere to the porous wood and dry. The ring could then be hung in a cool, dry place for long-term storage. When it was time to bake again, the ring was simply soaked in warm water to rehydrate the yeast and kickstart a new batch of sourdough. It's a fascinating piece of baking history from before the era of commercial yeast. This odd black metal bow tie-shaped object is attached to the back of a Subaru near the bumper. Seen in Utah, its purpose is not immediately clear. It doesn't appear to be a standard automotive part, but its placement and sturdy construction suggest a specific function related to towing or accessories. Does anyone know what this bow tie-shaped bracket is for? This is a license plate relocator bracket. When a driver attaches a trailer or a hitch-mounted bike rack to their car, it often obscures the vehicle's rear license plate, which is a legal violation in many places. This relocator bracket, which often attaches to the trailer hitch itself, provides a new, temporary mounting point for the license plate. The driver would move their plate from the bumper to this bracket, ensuring it remains visible while the trailer is attached. It's a simple and practical solution for maintaining legal compliance while towing. A magazine, sold inside a paper sleeve with a free CD, contained this unexpected orange rubber thing inside the sleeve as well. What could this small, industrial-looking rubber piece be? This orange rubber thing is a gripper from a CD manufacturing line. During the automated process of producing CDs, robotic arms equipped with soft rubber grippers like this one are used to pick up and move the delicate discs from one stage of production to the next, from the molding machine to the metallizer, to the printer, and finally into the jewel case. This one likely stuck to the CD or the packaging sleeve during the final packaging process and was accidentally included with the magazine. It's a small, authentic piece of industrial automation. These black posts are sticking out of the ground in Copenhagen, Denmark. The inverted bowl-like lid is plastic, and the posts are sturdy metal, about 3 to 4 feet tall. There are 20-30 of them lining the street. What are they? Believe it or not, they're a very clever and minimalist bike rack. To use it, a cyclist would hook the front part of their bicycle seat over the bit sticking out of the post, securing the bike. The black inverted bowl-like part is a brilliant little feature. It's a cover to keep the bike seat dry from the frequent Copenhagen rain. This is a great example of Danish design, providing a simple space-saving bike parking solution with an added practical benefit for the cyclist. It's an elegant solution to a common urban problem. This plastic object was found in a backyard after a light rain. It's about 6 inches long and was not there the day before during yard work. What is it? This looks like the landing spot, or perch, from a Bird Buddy smart bird feeder. The Bird Buddy is a popular modern bird feeder that has a built-in camera, which automatically takes pictures of visiting birds and identifies them using AI. This plastic piece is the small perch that attaches to the front of the feeder, giving the birds a place to land just before they eat. They are known to sometimes get knocked off by larger birds, like squirrels or crows, or in high winds, which would explain its sudden appearance in the yard. Found while cleaning out a garage, this appears bag-like, but has a strange shape and a see-through plastic bit. The zip is about 10 inches long. What is it? It's a rain cover for digital cameras. These are designed to protect a DSLR or mirrorless camera and its lens from rain, snow, or spray while shooting in inclement weather. The main body of the cover is made of a waterproof material. The see-through plastic bit is the window that goes over the camera's screen and controls on the back, allowing the photographer to see their settings and compose their shot. There would also be openings for the lens and for the photographer's hands to access the controls. Found in the corner of a community garden, the bristles are stiffer than broom bristles and are stuck into a foam bottom. It is very dirty. It's not a reed diffuser as it has no smell. What is it? This is probably used for baseball. It is a plug for the hole where the bases are anchored. On a proper baseball or softball field, the bases, first, second, and third, are not just placed on the ground, but are anchored to a metal post that is set in a concrete footing below the ground. When the bases are removed for storage or during off-season, these plugs, with their artificial turf or bristle tops, are placed into the anchor holes. This keeps dirt out of the anchor and creates a safe, level playing surface. This thin but strong piece of leash has two metallic rings on the end. It came with an automatic, retractable leash for a dog. What is it for? This is an extra safety collar or a backup connector. You put this short strap around the dog's neck in addition to their regular collar. You then attach the main clasp from the retractable leash to both the ring on the dog's primary collar and the two rings on this safety strap. The purpose is to act as a fail-safe. In the event that the dog's regular collar or the D-ring on it breaks, this backup collar will keep the dog attached to the leash, preventing a potentially dangerous escape. This gray stone object is about 3 inches long and was found in a black velvet bag in a jewelry box with men's accessories. It's possible it's just a cool rock, but the bag is throwing the finder off. What is it? This looks like a piece of soapstone, also known as talc, which is used by steelworkers, welders, and fabricators for marking on steel. It's essentially a crayon for metal. It leaves a clear white mark that is easy to see on dark metal surfaces, and crucially, the mark can withstand the high heat of welding or cutting torches without burning off, unlike a wax crayon or a marker. Its presence in a jewelry box is a bit odd, but perhaps the owner worked as a welder, or just liked the feel of the smooth, soft stone. This is a small, round, silver-colored object that weighs next to nothing. It has a moon on the right-hand side and XXX engraved into it. What is this interesting token? This is a token from a Love You to the Moon and Back gift set. This phrase is a very popular sentiment for gifts between loved ones. The gift, often a piece of jewelry like a necklace, will come with a small, complimentary token like this one, featuring a moon symbol. The XXX represents kisses. It is a small, sentimental keepsake that is part of a larger, themed gift, not a coin or a token with any monetary value. Seen above a driveway in Vermont, these are white boxes aimed downward, with wires leading to them. The commenter notes they are not wireless radios. What are they? These are not wireless radios. The commenter correctly identifies the wires as coaxial cable and the central box as a coax splitter. This is part of a TV antenna distribution system. A single TV antenna on the roof would feed its signal via a coaxial cable to the splitter. The splitter then divides the signal and sends it out via multiple output cables to different rooms or apartments in a building, allowing multiple televisions to receive the signal from the one antenna. The white boxes are likely weatherproof enclosures or individual amplifiers for each line. These small metal things came with a mixed case of needle threaders and needles from a thrift shop. They are about the same size and thickness as a standard needle threader, but have indented text that is too worn to read. What are they? This is a Tapestry needle threader. While a standard needle threader has a fine wire loop for threading thin sewing needles, Tapestry needles have a very large, long eye to accommodate thick yarn or embroidery floss. This different style of threader is designed for those larger eyes. It is often a flat piece of metal with a small hook or a special shape at the end that helps to pull the thick yarn through the large eye of the Tapestry needle, making it easier to thread. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.